Dotun Jegede is my name once again, particularly for those who have not met me. And I will take you through 7 habits of highly effective people. I am going to start by asking what habit is. Can somebody tell us what an habit is? Just briefly and quickly. What is an habit? Yes, anybody? Yes, anyone?
Yes. My name is Anna.
Okay.
An habit is something that someone does repeatedly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That is correct. So habit is what you do repeatedly. I like that. Anybody with a contrary opinion or any other addition?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Speaking.
Thank you, sir.
From Quality Control Department.
All right, sir. Good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Habit is what you are used to doing. I mean, you are not conscious. You are unconscious of it. You just do it.
Okay. All right.
It's because it's an habit.
Thank you so much. Okay. So Dosmu said habit is what you are doing unconsciously. But you are doing it regularly all the time. Thank you so much, gents, for your input. Nobody is entirely wrong. All the inputs are noted and they are very important. In this 7 habits of highly effective people, I will take time to take us through the rudiments, and then you begin to sit down, begin to take your pen and your paper and begin to picture what habits do you have. By understanding what habit is, and then what habit do you have? What are the categories of habits? And then how do I note what habit is endangering my life, my career, my job, my family, my health? Because on completion of today's habit, which is habit 1, you will go back to your wife if you are married. You will go back to your husband if you are married. You will go back to your boss. And you go back to your team and you will say, sir, ma, I am be working with you, okay? Can you help me? Look at me. I'll be working with you. Help me to list 7 good habits that you know that I have that are good. And help me to note 7 bad habits that you know that I have. Are you getting it? Don't tell them, don't say, no. Let them just express to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ask your wife to give you. Ask your husband to give you. Okay? So we'll leave it to those 3 people. Number 1, your boss. Number 2, your team. Number 3, your spouse. So if you say, I'm not married, I'm living with my uncle, let your uncle do it. If you say, I'm living with my auntie, let your auntie do it. If you're living with your parents, let them do it. Let them give you good habits you have and bad habits you have. And then we'll talk about it later. Okay, so we start by looking at 7 habits of highly effective people. So I'm going to go off this thing because I need to make my network more stable. 7 habits of highly effective people. As I mentioned, in this session, I am going to expose some reality to everybody here about the principles.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Dotun. OPM, please, can you mute yourself? If you're not speaking, please.
Okay, I'm muting now.
Okay, so let's go on because we have just 1 hour. 7 habits of highly effective people by late Stephen Covey. The question that will come to mind is, what is habit? And how can we possess the good one? Because it certainly means that there are good habits and there are bad habits. So how can we possess good habits that will help us to grow on our job, grow on our profession, grow on our career, grow in our family, grow in our health, grow in our finance, and grow in our existence as a person? And 2, what are these negative, bad habits that we must stop? We must resist. And we have to start removing them one at a time from our life, from our marriage, from our job, our family, and everything about us that are going to hurt us. Possibly, they have been hurting us in the past, hurting our marriage, hurting our jobs, hurting our progress, hurting our finance, hurting our health. And if we don't stop them, can make us not to grow on our job, which means we will not grow financially. And they can make us not to grow in our place of work, which means our job may be on the line. And they can make us not to grow in our marriage, which means that we may have, a very dysfunctional marriage. And they can make us not to have a good, healthy living. And in the end, we may not become a successful person on earth. 7 habits of highly effective people. Dr. Stephen Covey carried out an extensive research to find out what are the reasons for success in life, and what are the elements, what are the things that we as human beings are responsible for. These are not acts of nature. These are not just things that are beyond human control, but things that we have deliberately, ignorantly put ourselves into. And these things, they are hurting us and making us not to succeed in life. And for those who are ignorant and naive, they say, it is my destiny to fail. It's my destiny not to make it in life. It's my destiny not to progress. It's my destiny not to have a good home. Whereas it is because of this habits that have overwhelmed us, and they are making life hurt, terrible for us. We see these habits at work. We see them in marriage. We see them in the community. We exhibit them among our siblings, among our in-laws, among other people in the place of work. We exhibit them in the community. We exhibit them in the day, in the noon, and at night. We exhibit them when we are happy and when we are sad. So how do we deal with these situations? So it discovered that there are 2 types and categories of habits. But the question is, what is an habit? As somebody actually said, habit is what you do. Unfortunately, habit is not unconscious. Meaning, we are responsible, we are conscious, we are aware, because habit is not involuntary, like your eyes which blink, like your heart which is pumping blood. Habit is not like that. We are in charge, we are in control. So you cannot say, oh no. So what are these habits? As we move on, you will see. Habits are what we do. You see, habits are what we practice. Habits are what we exemplify. Habits are what we demonstrate. Habits are what we are known for, because these habits are divided into 2 categories, and they are called ethics. Ethics. Everybody say ethics. If you are with me, say ethics. Thank you. Ethics. So the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, the good and the evil. So these habits are what you do, what you say, how you do, how you look, how you carry things, how you move. So it is around or surround everything about you. In this topic, we are not looking at your wife. We are not looking at your husband. We are not looking at your boss. We are not looking at your in-law. We are not looking at your colleague. We are not looking at others. We are focusing on you as a person. We are focusing on you as an entity. So the essence of this program is to equip you as a person. And not to say, you see, I wish my husband is here. I wish my wife is here. I wish my boss is here. It's not for them. It's for you. So these habits are divided into 2 principles. The first is called character. Character. Your character is your habit. And the second is your personality. Your personality is your habit. And you're going to be asking some questions about these 2 variables and say, okay, sir, when you say character, what does it mean? It means your principles. Your characters are based on your outward display and outward manifestations. What are these characters? Do you have integrity? Integrity is a function of your character, and lack of integrity is a function of your habit. A person who is lying does not have good character. So you now begin to check, do I lie to my wife? Do I lie to my boss? Do I lie to my sibling? Do I lie to my colleagues? Do I lie to my children? Begin to ask. Don't ask me, but ask yourself. People have lost reputation. They have lost their marriage. They have lost their homes. They have lost their jobs. They have lost their happiness. They have lost chances and privileges and opportunity because they lack integrity, which is character. The second is called fidelity. Fidelity. Are you faithful to your wife? Are you faithful to your husband? In the world of technology, you now see people now in the workplace. They are going to porno sites. You will see somebody, they see a naked lady, they click it. They see a naked person who exposes her best. Your wife does not know, or even a woman. Your husband does not know, but you are already going into habits that will ruin your marriage and ruin your life. Many homes, many men in tie and suit are spending money for side chick, which is weakening their home and marriages, and that is a drain that is bringing their home into shape. And when they come to work, they are finished. Habits, infidelity. Are you faithful to the organization and the job? Character. And that is under character is compassion. If you have compassion for the work, you will not allow it to be destroyed. If you have compassion for your fellow colleague at work, you will not hurt him. If you have compassion for your neighborhood, you will not hurt them. If you have compassion for other people in other departments, you will not hurt them. It shows that when you see people act without compassion, you say, you are heartless. Because if you are sensitive, you will not act the way you do. If you are sensitive, my wife told me today, he said, honey, he said, this thing you say now hurts me. He said, this thing hurts me. Oh, I said, I'm sorry, it hurts you. You must have compassion. You must feel. That's why those who don't have compassion, they don't say, I'm sorry. When they make mistake, they don't say, I'm sorry. When they come late, they don't say, I'm sorry. When you give them tasks, they didn't do it, they say, I don't say, I'm sorry. They say, how can I say I'm sorry to my wife? I mean, why? Why should I say that? How can I say I'm sorry to my son? He's just my son, just a small boy. How can I say I'm sorry to my baby? It's just my daughter, just 2 years. How can I say I'm sorry to my in-law? No. I can't say that because you have issue with character. How can I say I'm sorry to somebody I matched mistakenly? Character. Your character is in your contribution. What is my value in this department? What is my value in this job? What is my value in this role? How do I support in building this home, in building this relationship? Other will say, if it is scatter, let it scatter. No. Those who have that have bad character. Character, contribution. How do I contribute to this company? How do I contribute? What is my value? Responsibility. A man takes his responsibility. You don't see a man sleeping till 8 a.m. or you don't see a man sleeping at 8 p.m. He is responsible for his home. And the same thing at work, when you give people tasks, they are responsible for their task. You carry your monkey. You will not say, my boss will do it for me. No, your boss is not employed to do your work. Everybody has his work. If you don't do your work, you know what happens? You have transferred the responsibility to your boss. And that is against the principles of what? Character. Responsibility makes a man to act, a woman to speak, to behave, to construct, to react, to respond, to manage things because he is responsible. He's in charge. Do your work. Do your work that is error-free. When your boss is calling you to come and do a rework, it means your work is not error-free. When your boss is calling you over and over, come and do this one, come and do this one, this is not correct, this is not correct, it means the person is not responsible. So as you check your work, say, look at the quality of your work. Do you leave your work undone? Is your boss always happy? Always unhappy? And say, now, wow, this one cannot even do anything. Justice. What is justice? What is fair? People are there, people are not there. What is fair? Your wife is there, your wife is not there. What is fair? Your husband is there, he's not there. What is fair? Your boss is there, he's not there. What is fair? Your other colleague is there, he's not there. What is fair? Other people in other departments, they need input from you. You give them what is fair, whether they see you or not. You give them what is fair. Justice. So those who don't have justice, what do you say about them? Because they lack character ethics. And then courage. You know courage? Not courage to do evil. Some people have courage to do evil. They have courage to steal. You say, and then everybody is stealing. They have courage to slap their wife. They say, They have courage to beat their wife. And then they have courage to curse their husband, curse their wife. They have courage to fight. They say, if you abuse me, I will return my own back. That's not the kind of courage we're talking about. Courage to bear responsibility. Courage to take a new role. You have not done it before. You say, I can do it, man. I will do it, man. But I will say, I cannot do it too. I'm not an accountant. I was not applying for this one. It's not in my KPI. It's not in my job description. When are we going to come back? You don't have courage. And for those who don't have courage, they don't go far in life. So these are the character ethics that is based on principle because it focuses on how you are, who you are. And the second is called personality ethics. You can see these are under habit. Therefore, habit is conscious, it's not unconscious. So what are these principles under personality? It is based on the techniques. What are these techniques that we are talking about? It's based on your image that you have created. When you mention your name, what do you mean? Some are forget that they are building reputation. As you are growing, you are building reputation, and people can easily decide and determine who you are. Can your name collect money from the bank? Can your name ring bell and ring good news to people? If they mention your name to somebody, what will they say? If they say, hey, so person is calling you, so person needs you, so person needs help, what will they say about you? You need to check. That is where you have image. What image have you created? Do you create, that person is a go-to person. That person can make things happen. Oh, that person can go extra mile. Oh, not, that one, she can complain, she can talk, she can get angry, she can destroy things. That one, if you give this person any work, in fact, you will suffer. Don't depend on her. Don't depend on, he is not dependable. What is the image you have built as a husband? Does your wife know that this is my husband? I don't trust him when it's all the ladies here, he will dismantle them. Does they trust you? Can your boss trust you with work and money and resources? Can they trust you with project? Can they trust you with an assignment? Say, send this lady, I can tell that she will be there by 9. Or that one, I'm not sure she will even be there by 10. Image. What image have you created between you and the customers? That, oh, I don't want that guy to call me. I don't want that guy to call me. I don't believe that guy. Give me somebody else. Image. What image have you created before management? And then public relations. It's your personality. How do you relate with people in the office? Are you hostile? Are you difficult? Do you scream? Do you shout? Are you envious? Do you backbite? Do you backstab people? Do you say negative things? Do you mind your business? Or you just find that when you come to work, you are just talking. Any small thing you react. If they ask a question, you will shout. If they ask something, you will get offended. Any small thing irritates you. They can't even ask you for favor. They can't even ask you for input. You are not ready to help them. And even you are ready to help them, you are always doing it as if, don't even come back again. Your look, your countenance is showing, don't come again, please. Don't ask me again. I don't have time for you. So what are you exhibiting? What are you demonstrating? And tell us, what are you showing? That is your public relations. How do you relate with people? Can you, even where you live, do you fight everybody? Are you having issue with landlord? The school teachers? Are you having issue with your siblings? Issue with your in-law? Because how do you relate? Some will say, no, I don't, it's my own, it's my business. I don't talk to anybody. You are not an island. And then communication, your words, your action, your grammar, your approach, your methods. How are you communicating to people? How are you talking to people? How do you use your words? Please, can you mute, please? How do you use your words? What kind of word do you use? What kind of word do you use? And how is your word hurting system, hurting people, destabilizing the system, and causing pain to other people? And then management. What is management? Can you manage money? If management gives you resources, they give you tool, they give you a car, they give you an office, they give you a work tool, they give you PPE, they give you money. Can you manage it? Can you give accountability? So as you look at habit, it focuses on these two elements, personality and character. As I mentioned, because of time, life is going to present to you two major challenges. And that's why we're studying or looking at this habit, so that when you are confronted with life challenges, you can succeed. Life is going to come to you in a way that will hurt you and it will shake you. But if you don't have the right attitude, if you don't have the right personality, if you don't have the right habits, character, you will not be able to make it. What are the things that life will throw at you? You are going to come across two variables. The first one is called circle of influence, what you can control. And that's what you need to learn. And that's what you need to focus your energy every single day on. Things you can control, things you have control over, things within your reach. And then the second is called circle of concern, things you don't have control over. So how do you become effective? You become effective when you focus on things you have control over, called circle of influence. And you leave things you don't have control over. So under the circle of influence, you can control your attitude. Don't let anybody deceive you. You can control how you behave, how you react, how you manage things, how you work, the quality of your work. You can control that. You can control your sleep when you sleep. You can control what you watch, whether on the TV, on the road, on your computer, or on your mobile phone. I can't control that for you, but you can control it. You have control over your eyes. You can control what you watch on TikTok. You can control what you watch on Facebook. You can control what you watch on LinkedIn. You can control what you watch on Instagram. You can control what you watch on Twitter. You can control what you watch on the street. You can control what you watch on your computer. You can control what you read on Twitter. You can control what you read on LinkedIn. You can control what you read on Facebook. You can control what you read on WhatsApp. You can control what you read on Instagram. It does not matter who posts it. You can control the way you behave, the way you act, the way you react, the way you initiate actions. You can control what you buy, where you buy it, how to buy it, who to buy it for. So all the variables that are within your control, you can control how you walk, when you come to work. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you manipulate. You can't control your colleague, you can control yourself. You can't control your boss, you can control yourself. You can't control why the machine is like this, you can control yourself. You can't control the directors, you can control yourself. You can't control the security guy, you can control yourself. You can't control your wife, you can control yourself. You can't control even your husband, you can control yourself. You can't control the neighbor and the landlord, you can control yourself. You can't control what anybody says to you on social media, on LinkedIn, on the road, anywhere, in the office, at the road, at work, in the sibling, among your family. You can't control what they have said to you. You can control how you react. Circle of influence. You can control whether you want to succeed in your career or not. You can control whether you want to be where you are now or you want to go higher. You can control it. You can control what you say. You can control what you produce. You can control what you compute. You can control the work you do. You can control what you wear. You can control what you eat. You can have control over that one. But you don't have control over who is the president of Nigeria. Leave that one. You don't have control over the fuel scarcity. You don't have the control over the economy of Nigeria. You don't have control over what is posted on social media. You don't have control over what is ejected inside the computer. You don't have control over war. You don't have control over political issues. Stop putting too much of your energies on the Nigerian economy and politics and war and social media, what they post. It is none of your business. When I say none of your business, I mean you don't have control over it. You cannot decide when the PHN will bring light or take it. You don't have control over that one. You don't have control over the traffic. You don't have control. Don't bother wasting your time and energy. That is where habit comes in. You don't have control over the news they give us, bad or good. You don't have control over the weather. It's rainy, it's not raining. So you don't have control over natural disaster. You don't have control over other people's behavior. So when you understand in this habit that, okay, maybe I have been given time and attention to things I don't have control over. Hey, it's raining. How does that affect you? You don't have control over the rain, but what can you do? Hey, it's sunny. Of course. You don't have control over the sun, but what can you do? So life will present to you. My husband is not rich. Fine, but you can build a home. I don't have male children. I only have females. That's what you have. But what can you make out of them? I am not Igbo. I am Yoruba. I am not Yoruba. I am Hausa. You don't have control over that one. But what can you do? I am not working in CBN. I work with cotton. I work with Amosi. What can I make out of that? That is what you have control over. I am not an accountant. I am a storekeeper. What you have control over is the storekeeping. I am not a storekeeper. I am HR. What you have control is human resources. I am not HR. I am production. What you have control is production. I am not production. I am QC. What you have control over is QC. What can I bring out of? So it says, leave the area that it doesn't concern you. Stop putting your mouth and your time and your energy in things you don't have control over. Have you not seen people they spend hours and days and weeks on politics? Have you not seen people, they spend hours and times and weeks on other neighbors' activities? Have you not seen other people spending hours and time on other department activities? Whereas their own is suffering, their life is suffering, their marriage is suffering, their job is suffering, they are not doing well, and they abandon their own work and they focus and dissipate energy on things they have no control over. They talk, gossip, and they abandon their own work, and they talk about the new president. Is that your responsibility? You don't have control over that one. Why don't you look at your life and your job and your role and the complaint your boss is saying and begin to look at it? So I am going to give you this assignment. You will go take this sheet and then populate on your own. Fill it. What are the things I have control over about my personality? Write them out. And what are the things I have control over on my health and wellness? Write them out. And what are the things I have control over in my marriage, family? Write them out. What are the things I have control over on my career? Write them out. What are the things I have control over about my finance? Write them out. My spirituality. You have conscience. What are the things I have control over? And then the second phase is, what are the things I don't have control over? So when you look at that, then that will not take us to the habit number one. So what I just gave you just a prelude so that it will give you a better insight. Habit number one, be proactive. Everybody say that. Yes, I want everybody to say that. 1, 2, go. Okay. I'm only hearing 5 people's voice. 1, 2, go. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, sir. Be proactive. Now, 2 words are joined together. Proactive. Proactive. I have talked about the 2 circles that will influence you. The circle of concern and the circle of influence. And I say, don't put too much time, energy, dissipation on circle of concern because you don't have control over that one. But put it on the circle of influence, what you can control. So habit number 1 is proactive. How can I be active? How can I act ahead in my work? How can I act ahead in my marriage? How can I act ahead in the office? How can I act ahead in my career? That is proactive. Now, what we find out in this proactive is that I'll first talk about those who are reactive. So begin to check in your life. If you find any of these elements in you, maybe regularly, once in a while, you know you are reacting. Reactive people behaves in ways that are based on their feelings. Because behavior is a product of your condition based on feelings. There's no money. This work is too much. They say the road is blocked. They say there's no fuel. They begin to magnify problems more than solutions. And they are unhappy. They feel victimized. They say they hate me. My boss hates me. Director hates me. My wife hates me. My husband hates me. My in-law hates me. My siblings hate me. Neighbor hates me. Everybody hates them. They focus on their own weaknesses. And they magnify their weaknesses more than necessary. They wear a pitiable condition so that everybody pities them. Small thing happens, they say, see me, see my life, I don't know why this is happening to me. They dwell too long in a position of pity or despondency. They blame everybody for their failures. They blame their boss, they blame the management, they blame HR, they blame sales, they blame accounts, they blame production, they blame quality control, they blame logistics, they blame warehouse, they blame their wives, they blame their in-laws, they blame everybody. They even blame their children. Because they feel that, hey, it is my parent that did not make it to succeed. And then they think that their situation is a function of other people's responsibility. If they have failed marriage, they say it's because of my husband. If they have failed career, they say it's because my parents did not send me to good school. If they have failed health condition, they blame the society. If anything happens to them, they are always looking for who to blame. Hence, they hold people responsible for their personal stagnation and failure in all the phase of life. As I mentioned up there, you will write out all these phase of life. There are more, but let's look at it. Your personality, your health, your marriage, your career, your finance, and your spirituality. I noticed something very sharp, that we will spend about 75% of our life working. So anybody who failed in career is potentially going to fail in almost all the areas of life. Let me give you an example. If you enter a public vehicle where you see conductor, what will you call conductor? Will you call him sir? Will you call him doctor? Will you call him Mr.? Will you call him daddy? I want an answer. Come on, you don't even say, you don't say, you say, come and take your money. And I'll go college and get away. And all more than 50% of people we angrily pay and get out. It is very rare to see someone say, conductor, okay, thank you for giving me a good ride. Bye-bye, God bless you. You know, oloshi. Get away, you need to get away. Die, you need to die. You know, that is how the end. Do you know why? It's career. The path he chose. Hurt his life, hurt his personality. He has no respect, he has no dignity, he can't wear good clothes. Go and check their wives and children too. If anybody fail in career, I can tell you that he's going to fail in almost 75% of their lives. But you can go after this class to go and find out. What is the dignity of the guy who is selling Igbo? What is the dignity of the person who is selling Shekwe? Which dignity? He has no dignity. Whereas he's a human being like you and I, but because he has failed in career, the kind of career they choose. If you fail in career, you will not have respect in your personality. If you fail in your career, you will not have money to take care of your health. If you fail in career, you will not be able to raise a good home because you need money to raise good home, send them to good school, take care of them, provide for them. If you fail in career, you are going to fail in finance. And if you're not careful, you may also fail in your spirituality. And that's why this habit is important. So do not be a reactive people who blame everybody. But you are supposed to be what? You are supposed to be a proactive person. So who is a proactive person? A person who is aware of himself. Do you know who you are? Are you aware that when they talk to you, you get angry quickly? Are you aware that when things don't go your way, you flare up? Are you aware that when you have misunderstanding in marriage, you don't come home? You don't even eat food. You don't even talk to your wife. Are you aware that when your boss talks to you, you just walk out and walk away and you get angry? Are you aware that when other people in the office disagree with you, you just muted, you shut down, and you're not participating again? Do you know who you are? Are you aware that when people wrongly hurt you, you keep it for a long time? And when you are supposed to give them documents, you will not give them because you are still getting angry. Self-awareness. And it's hurting you. And it's affecting you. And you don't know. And you're keeping it. You cut them off on phone because they spoke to you roughly. And your boss is calling and you're not picking his call. And he sent a message you're not picking. And other of your colleagues are sending message because it is only when you are happy. When you are sad like this, your other side is horrible. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that you don't listen? You don't pay attention? Are you aware that you don't support other people? You don't work with people. You cannot work with other people. You just want to work alone. Are you aware that you are very forgetful? Are you aware that you don't even have a diary? You don't even diarize your life. If they ask you, in 2010, where do you want to be? You don't even know. If they ask you that by June, this June now, what is your plan for the month of June? You don't have any place to put it. Do you know that that is who you are? You cannot say this is what I've planned to do and achieve in 2023. You don't have it. Show me your plan for January, and show me the one for February, and show me for March and April and May, and show me that before you sleep every night, you always check through your life and check your activities. Are you aware of where you are? Are you aware that you are spending life as if you don't have direction? You don't even document things. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that you cannot say by the end of this year, I will have achieved this, I will have done this, I will have learned this, I will have known this, I will have improved? Are you aware that the same complaint your boss has been complaining since January about you, the complaint is still there? Are you aware of that? Self-awareness. Because in the proactive model, there are 3 principles. The first is stimulus. What is pushing you? What is propelling you? You know, some people, they are happy in the day, they are sad at night. Some people, they are good on Monday, they are bad on. Something must propel and push you. And between your stimulus and your response is freedom to choose. That is the product of the dependence, independence, and interdependence. You are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your marriage. You are in charge of your job. If you lose your job, not because of your boss, not because of your subordinate, not because of your colleagues, not because of the environment, not because of the economy, not because of management, but because of you. If anything happens to your marriage, not because of your husband or wife or children or in-law or nephew or sibling, because I have taught you about circle of influence and concern. So you are not looking at the things you cannot control. Leave those one. You are now focusing on yourself. Yourself. So if your boss is complaining about you every now and then, you need to sit and say, hey, what is this thing that is making me to have negative remarks? I want to deal with you. Freedom to choose. So in your freedom, you have to look at self-awareness. Imaginations. What do you think about? How do you think? How do you use your mind? What do you feed your mind? If you feed your mind pornography, if you feed your mind all these joking posts, if you feed your mind with all these Niger bets and drinking and smoking and unprofitable commerce, and you are associating with people who don't challenge you, hey, you cannot be proactive like that, sir. And your conscience, when I say conscience here, you may say, I'm talking about God. I'm not referring to God. I mean, you are in charge of how you use the power of self-will. I can do it. Determination. I can succeed. Not negatives. You have the will. Babies don't have the will. You have the will. You are an adult. You are in charge. You are independent. You are above 18. Anything that happens to you, you are in charge. You cannot blame anybody. So in this habit 1, I want you to understand this. Can somebody read for me very quickly? Very quickly. Who can read for me? Very quickly. Thank you, sir. We are in charge. You see, we are in charge. Don't let them say that you're not in charge. They say, no, this is my life. You are in charge of your life. That's what I mean. You are in charge of your job. You are in charge of your health. You are in charge of your behavior. You are in charge of your attitude. You are in charge of your finance. You are in charge of what you do with your career. You are in charge of what you behave. Continue, sir. We choose the script by which you want to live our life. So how you live your life on a daily basis. The triangle from home to work. What happened at work? What do you do at work? You know, some people, they will come to work and they'll be playing game. Nobody is seeing them. They'll be watching pornography. They'll be watching movies. They'll be watching film. Nobody is seeing them and they are hiding it. And by 5, they carry their bag, they are going home. Do you think they are doing anybody? No, they are not doing anybody. They are in charge. And that is the script they have written for their lives. Sooner than later, the answer will come out. And some will come. Continue, sir. Continue, sir. Take responsibility for your choices by being aware that you are in charge of your life and you need to act ahead. Continue, sir. Okay.
Own character to decide how to view ourselves and our situations and to control our own effectiveness.
To control our own effectiveness, because effectiveness is used for human beings. We use efficiency for machine. Because we are human beings, we can go extra mile. You can go beyond every circumstances because challenges will come, which is the circle of concern. Leave the things you cannot control. The things you can't control in your marriage, leave it. The one you can't control in the office, leave it. And begin to put your energy on the things you can control. By what? Being responsible and being effective. Put simply, in order to be effective, one must be proactive. Thank you, sir.
Okay, put simply, not to be effective, one must be proactive. Reactive people take a passive stance. That is, they believe the world is happening to them. They say things like, there's nothing I can do. That's just the way I am. They think the problem is out there, but that though that is the problem, reactivity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and reactive people feel increasingly victimized and out of control.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You see, that is the way they think. They say, I am a cleaner. What can I do? I'm a security. I'm a guard. That's not true. Anybody can rise from 0 to hero. I was a factory worker before. I was a cleaner before. But I'm no longer, because I believe I can rise. Reactive people always believe in self-fulfilling prophecy. They say the directors are chasing me, manager is after me, HR is after me, I don't know what I have done to them, I'm not the only one here, what can I do? I'm not going to kill myself, market is hard, market is hostile. Hey, if you sit in that kind of area, you will not go far. If you begin to think, if your imagination is always around victimizations and self-pity and self-fulfilling prophecy of negativity, you will never make it in life. You will never make it in marriage. You will never make it as a human being. No, don't take this. Become proactive. How? Proactive people recognize that they have a responsibility at work, on the job, in your family, in your home, in the organization. That is to say, ability to choose how you respond to a given stimulus, I show you, or situation that is not favorable. There is expectation from the management and from your boss and from other people. In order to be proactive, we must focus on the circle of influence, which I said. The energy must be used on things that are productive. You are acting ahead. You plan ahead. You schedule your time and you schedule your life and you schedule your activities. And when you are coming to work, you know that I am at work. I'm not in a recreational center. Reactive people, on the other hand, focus on things that they don't have control over. And as I said, they blame external factors, emanating negative energy, complain, and causing their circle of influence to shrink. A circle of concern, you see challenges, difficulties, problems. That's what we're looking at. But in circle of influence, you see solutions, alternatives, way out, improvising. Challenge yourself to test the principles of proactivity by doing the following. Start replacing reactive language with proactive language. Convert reactive tasks into proactive tasks. Begin to look at your activity in the work and your job and begin to say, no, I am going to be a successful person in this organization and on this job. Begin to picture out around you, around your career, around your health, around your family, around your attitude, and your behavior, your character, and your personality, and begin to say, no, I am going to start taking actions now that I am in charge of my life. And I want to start taking full control of my life. Today, we will be bringing the habit 1 to a close. And the task I'm going to assign is write out on your own, under habit 1, things you have control over. You can write 8, 8, or 7, 7, or 10, 10. You are free. Things I have control over under circle of influence. I have plotted it on top. I put personality, I put health, awareness, I put family, I put finance. Write it and write the one you don't have control over. Then go back to your boss and say, boss, I am doing a test. Can you write me 7 good habits you know about me and 7 bad habits you know about me? Please give me. Don't argue. Don't say, this one is not true. Don't just collect it. Then go back to your spouse if you are married. If you are a man, give your wife. If you are a wife, give your husband. Tell her to write it for you. Don't defend. Don't say you are wrong, you are right. Just collect it. It's either a perception or an experience about you. So those are the 3 we need. The one you write for yourself. Yes, sir.
Please, could you repeat it, sir?
Okay. You will meet your wife. If you are a man, if you are a woman, you will meet your husband and say, please, can you write out 7 good habits you know about me? And then 7 bad habits you know about me. And collect it. Don't argue with him or her. Don't say you are wrong, you are right. Don't defend. Just collect it. And then when we meet next week, we'll talk about it.